to another edition of Foundation Focus. I'm Jim McKenzie, the Executive Director, and with me today is Rich Kalita, one of our board members, actually acts as our treasurer for the foundation, and Rich has been on the Board of Directors for the last 5 years, starting his 6th year as we start the new school year for 2014-2015. Rich, welcome. Thank you for all you've done for the foundation and again, serving as the capacity of our treasurer. We certainly appreciate that.
Jim, thanks for the invite today. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. What we wanted to do today is talk a little bit about our successes, the opportunities that we had over the past year for the 13-14 school year, and then what's on our docket for the 14-15 school year. So let me start out by saying I think that the foundation has a new focus. We have some new interest. And Rich, you want to talk a little bit about the planning stages that we went through over the last 2 years and how we've changed in looking at different funding operations and putting more money into the students and being able to help our teachers through our website in particular.
Yeah, well, let me even start before that. I mean, clearly over the last 5 years, you know, we've all seen the dip in the economy. So the last 5 years has not exactly been the best time to be on any sort of nonprofit organization. But I do think that we've planned accordingly, and we've come out on this end of that downturn better than when we went in. And I think over the last couple of years, we've done some really great stuff for the school district through the foundation, as far as in the way we support them through grants for the teachers and scholarships for graduating seniors and other projects that we do. And I think a lot of that has come due to our new website that we started last year, or I guess the beginning of this year. And you know, that really has now allowed us to funnel a lot more money into the classrooms directly through our classroom adoption and our Fund a Project. Before, that was really done by word of mouth, and it was very difficult for people to track. And now it's all available on our website with the click of a button, and somebody's able to donate either directly to a classroom or to a project. And that can be done anywhere in the country. So if you've got a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle living someplace else, and they want to be able to do that, it's easy for them to do that now. It's effortless. And so we've, just in this past year, I think we've had somewhere around $35,000 donated through that option directly into classrooms throughout the school district. So, you know, we're looking at doing things and improving the ease of which people can support the foundation and thereby support the school district. And then we're continuing to look at ways to better integrate that and get the word out, not only to the teachers and the other members of the school district, but also to the families and parents and students alike, so that we can just continue to get the word out. And I think that's a big part of what the foundation, what our renewed mission focus is really trying to get the word out to the general public on what the foundation does, why we're here, and why our mission is so important to, you know, taking what the school district gets in their funds from the government and really being able to extend those and double down on those funds to be able to, you know, do additional things for the learning process and be able to help those teachers in the classroom directly with projects that they're looking for.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think that each person on our board has taken the responsibility of really taking a look at how do we be more proactive than reactive when it comes to our students and supporting our teachers. And certainly, as you well know, and have been a very strong supporter of the foundation, amongst many others, but you know, by adopting the class, by funding a project, by allowing students to participate in competitions, that gives them a little sense of security, a little sense of opportunity, and challenges them, quite frankly, I think, to improve and be a better student, which, you know, in your business, staffing and recruiting and finding individuals for employers, having students that have been challenged, having students that have an education, having students that know how to react is pretty important. I would suspect.
I mean, I think it's absolutely a part of it, and it's multifocal. I mean, we all understand that to have a skilled and educated workforce starts with the basic foundation of public education. That's where the vast majority of our students are educated in this country, is through public education. We also know that there's not enough money in public education for them to do everything that they need to do to prepare our kids, not only academically, but through life skills and all of those other things. And by doing some of the things that we do for the kids that went to Odyssey of the Mind and the MOA kids that did that competition, those competitions give them other skills other than just the classroom. And they need all of those to be able to be successful as we move forward, as they grow and learn. So, you know, having a skilled and educated workforce really is the foundation for economic development in everything that we do. And by us providing additional dollars as a multiplier helps us to be able to create a better finished product when these kids leave, you know, the security of a public education, and whether they're going into college or a trade school or an apprenticeship or whatever that might be, that they are going to be well suited for that next step in their life career.
And you're absolutely right. I think that is one of the important things. You had the opportunity, and just kind of piggybacking on that, you had the opportunity this year not only to host the Young Floridians, but also be the MCs for our Night of the Stars.
That was a great event.
And yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about that and what you took away from meeting those teachers and those students through the Young Floridian program.
Let's talk about the Night of the Stars first. I mean, that's, you know, the school district's opportunity to recognize teachers, school-related employees, other folks within the district who are head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, these are the stars of the school district. And so having an opportunity to, you know, interact with the first-year teachers and the minority educators and the Teacher of the Year and the School-Related Employee of the Year, all of the nominees and the actual winners. I mean, the event was absolutely phenomenal. I think everybody, I know I, as the MC, I got much more out of it than I did the effort that I put into it. I mean, just being around those folks, having an opportunity to talk with them, they're excited, they love what they do. It's all about the kids. I mean, that's the one thing that I've learned, you know, in the last 5 years serving on the foundation board is it's all about the kids. And, you know, I couldn't be a teacher. I will tell you, it's too difficult. There's too many moving pieces and too many moving parts. And so, you know, those folks that is their goal, that is their mission, that is their, you know, their love. I mean, I think it's great, and for us to, you know, spend a little bit of time to recognize them, I think, is an amazing thing. Now, as far as, you know, students in the Young Floridian program this year, you know, we have amazing kids in this school district that are doing amazing things. I know, you know, 35 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever it was, when I was in high school, so much different today. So much technology, so much instant information available, so much information overload, if you will. And these kids, the ability of what they're able to do and the amount of stuff that they can complete, whether it's through community volunteerism, through their school, through their academics, the ability to get college credits, or so many of the kids graduating already with an associate's degree. I mean, the opportunities that these kids have and that they participate in is just amazing. When I read the bios of these kids and what they've accomplished as a senior in high school, as a 17 or 18-year-old, you know, I'm just amazed at what they've done. And, you know, we don't hear enough of the positives of really what these kids are accomplishing and what they're able to do. You know, so much time is focused on that small minority that, you know, is a negative, when we really need to be out there really talking about the positives that happen in the school district.
Yeah, and the negatives are such a minute percentage of the overall population when you
Absolutely.
when you survey the kids, and we did this last year and we'll do it again this year when they come back, and ask them what do they want to do, where do they want to go, and you get 75-80% of the kids that already realize that they need to do something more, whether, as you say, is college, is a university, is a trade school, a technical school,
the military,
or
whatever
get
it might be.
certificate or a military. I mean, it's just amazing that they realize that in order to get ahead and to be a vital part of the community. Last year, this past school year, our grant program was rather successful. I think it was a little over $80,000 that we were able to put in the hands of teachers and administrators at the school district at the school sites to really work and perform projects that would really help students. A lot had to do with intervention programs in making sure that students had the skills, the needs, the extra attention in order to get to graduation. And then again, spending a lot of financial support in that age 3 to grade 3, so that we're really being proactive at the lower grades.
Yeah, you absolutely have to start the skills and the learning at that preschool to early education level. That's where they will then get those skills to continue, whether they've, the love of reading and starting that. And, unfortunately, in the communities in which we live, we have a lot of kids who don't have two parents, don't have a lot of other things that maybe we take for granted on a daily basis. And the ability for us to augment those things and reading skills and other life skills that people, that they're not getting in the home environment, or they need more reinforcement for, that this is a good thing, this will help you in the future. And some of those grant programs that we've done, go toward some of the intervention programs with, making sure that we're being attentive to the kids when they show up for school, that there's a reason to show up for school, there's a positive, it's a safe environment. And for those kids they may be the first generation ever to go or to contemplate going to college, and beginning to prepare them for the skills they need and helping them through that process. Because if you've never done it, it can be daunting as far as, interviewing for college and getting everything together and completing a FAFSA so I can get, financial aid and all of those things. And it's just not something, it's a government thing. It's not just something that you intuitively know how to do. Right. You really need somebody to help you through that process. And I think some of those things that we are putting our dollars into are, practical frontline skill sets that are going to help these kids be successful.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that as we kind of look at and kind of switch gears, is what are we going to do in 14-15, and what does our calendar look like? I think it's important that we talk about, how we're going to take that energy that we started the train moving with this past year. And there's an event starting, the first week of school, our welcome back to the employees.
Absolutely. And again, I think that's, again, a continuation of our effort to get the word out to everybody about what the foundation is all about, and that we are here to support them and help them be successful. So by, providing this event as a welcome back for the staff and have a chance to talk with them and, meet on a social setting, not in, not necessarily in the school setting, and to be able to talk about, these are the things that we're going to be coming up for you. There's going to be, the grant packages for you to be able to submit so that you can get money from the foundation for projects that you want that's going to help you educate your students, and a host of other things, but just letting them know that those things are available. Last year we did about $80,000 in grants. This year, because the budgets are improving, we're getting some additional money from the state. We could be at $100,000 or $120,000 that we're able to fund back if we're able to match the amount of money that we get from the state to make that happen. And, we are working hard right now to get those grants and to do that fundraising so that, we're able to get those dollars and get them into the hands of those end users who are going to be able to make that impact on a kid's life.
Yeah. And as you say, and you've said numerous times, it is all about the kids and how do we support them. And by supporting our teachers, our instructional staff, those folks that interact with students on a daily basis, if they're positive, if they have a good frame of mind, if they're ready to go, then that's going to just transcend into the students, quite frankly. And so that's one of the important things. You talked and mentioned the Adopt-A-Class. It's in its first full year of being available to teachers to be able to get some of those incidental supplies and needs to make sure that students have all of their tools. Talk a little bit about what our plan is for this year with the posters, with the palm cards, in making sure that we can't get to everyone from our board of directors standpoint. We're only 26, but if you have 2,600 teachers that are saying, here's how you can help me in the classroom,
Yeah, again, it's getting back to communication, getting that word out by, developing posters that talk about our Funded Classroom project and putting posters in every classroom that are available when school starts and when, the parents are coming in to do parent-teacher orientation and meet the teacher and bring their kids in, or the night when they do parent-teacher conferences or PTA or SAC committees, that when those things are there and available and you're seeing them, yes, maybe they've heard about it before, but it's a reminder, oh yeah, we can adopt a class, we can provide them, and it's effortless. And, and again, continuing to talk to other people that allow them to do that, it's just another multiplying effect on getting that word out and allowing that program to be more successful. This year it was great. I mean, for our first year, we did very, very well. Now we need to continue to build on that success.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. I think as the board is directed, there'll be posters in every classroom and every door in every classroom as kids start to come back to school, as the parent-teacher conferences start. The teacher's not going to have to ask, support me. The parents are going to come to them and say, what's this Adopt-A-Class? What's this Funder project? And how can we help? And I think that's how you work at engaging parents in the community in order to really provide support for students.
Yeah, and I think the word engaging is absolutely right on target. I mean, we do have to get everyone engaged in the process. I mean, it's not just the teacher who's responsible for educating the kids. The kids have to be engaged. The teacher has to be engaged. The family members have to be engaged. Every member of the school community, whether it's a lunch lady or a school resource officer, whoever, everybody needs to be engaged for us to be successful in that critical mission of educating our kids.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of our focus has been over the last 2 years in attempting with our Get on the Bus campaign, with creating the new website, creating the new video that we did last year.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the next big thing, is getting that video out to general distribution so more people can see it and understand what the mission of the foundation is and why it's so important. The other fundraiser that we're starting this year is this fall will be the coupon book, for St. Lucie County businesses. And, again, another way to be able to provide funding for us to be able to use that money back into the school district. So, as the foundation is looking for opportunities to be able to get money because of the difficult economic times that we were in, we're continuing to look at other options that are not just event-driven, but things that are going to help us raise money throughout the year just with normal activities that people do. And I think that becomes, helps us be more successful on a consistent basis and not really worried about, is the economy going up? Is the economy going down? But that we're putting things in place that are going to allow a steadier, funding process mechanism by which we can turn that money around back into the school district.
And I think the fact that we have moved everything, into that August, September time frame, while it puts a little more pressure on us as board members and staff, it gives us an opportunity to know where we're going to go, so that we're not doing things in January when they only have 3 months left of the school season.
Right, and I think that's critical because, again, from the grants, we all know we've got to certify the amount of money that we want to use for grants come the end of September.
Right.
We can't be waiting to get our large fundraising in February.
Right. Yeah. Let me just back up on the coupon book, and we haven't really discussed it on this show, but there will be a September 10th through September 30th coupons for classrooms is the program. Coupon books will be available and sold through the schools. During that period, there'll be no other fundraising for the schools at that particular time. But the reality of these books is that there could be up to $250,000 of newfound income resources for our schools, and that money that is raised in each one of the schools by the sale of the books actually stays in that school.
Right, a portion of those funds stay in the school, a portion goes to the foundation, which goes then back to the schools. So, I mean, all of that funding is absolutely used in the school district.
Yeah.
And, so it's, they're going to be sold throughout the school district. The price of the coupon book is actually offset by a couple of major coupons at the very beginning, so you basically get your money back immediately after buying the book. And then there are a host of other coupons that will be available, whether it's restaurants or entertainment or whatever they might be. And so we're just really excited about the possibility that this will provide for the foundation.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that this is one of those things that really will make a difference as we go forward. Rest of the year, we've got our foundation ball, which happens in November.
Foundation ball will be in November. Always a great event. Again, just an opportunity to get together, recognize the accomplishments that we've made. We always try to bring in some students and teachers that have been personally affected by what the foundation has done for them. To, again, further reinforce to people why it's important on what we do and how it makes an impact on people's lives. So that's one of our major fundraisers in the year. And again, that'll be in November this year.
Right.
We talked about Night of the Stars a little bit. That will happen in February.
We always have in January. We have the tours out to the schools when we select the school-related employee of the year and the 3 finalists for the teacher of the year. That's always one of those amazing days. It's to go in there again, one of those, the prize patrol.
Yeah, one of those celebrations up to the actual night of the event, Night of the Stars event in February.
Yeah, and again, that's going to be that'll be on February 21st, as we understand it right now, which will be another great gala type evening. And I think that as I've looked around in some of the other counties, I think our event stands head and shoulders above.
Well, it's definitely a standing room only crowd, and it's absolutely a pleaser for everyone that participates in it. And we really have to thank our sponsors who provide the funding to really make sure that those folks are recognized in an appropriate manner.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important that those things take place. Again, just for our audience, some dates to remember. The student scholarships for graduating seniors this year, that date has been moved up. So that will be actually the Friday before spring break instead of the Friday after spring break this year.
One less thing they have to worry about while they're enjoying their spring break.
Exactly, and that's going to be a great. Our scholarship nights are always really great to see the sponsors and meet with the parents and talk to them about, and be able to really say thanks for letting your student be a part of this community.
Yeah, and we have it in May, so it's a good time. By then, the kids are really starting to decide, between the acceptances that they've received, where they actually want to go, what they want to begin to focus on, and really have an opportunity to talk to those kids and really find out about what their plans are, how they've prepared themselves for that next step in their life. And it's, again, the kids, the things that they've accomplished are truly amazing. Every year we have kids that, go to the, however you want to define the best schools in the country, whether you want to talk about schools inside the state of Florida or whether you want to talk about schools outside the state of Florida. But, I mean, we have kids at every level really out there doing some really wonderful things. And it's really great that after they go get whatever education they want to do, the ability for them to come back to our community and raise a family. And that's where the cycle all comes back to, again, economic development. We want to make sure that our kids are skilled and able to do that, so that as we grow businesses here on the Research Coast, that the kids have opportunities for jobs to come back to right here locally.
Rich, I want to thank you for coming in today and talking a little bit about this past year and putting some things for the coming year into perspective. I think that with your leadership and the other board members, certainly from a foundation standpoint, I think that we are definitely headed in the right direction. We've been able to accomplish some things that will certainly help for and enhance the success of our students.
Jim, I appreciate the invitation and I enjoyed talking with you today.
Great. Thanks very much. This show will probably air in July and August, the early part of August. Just a couple of notes. We do want to remind all of our teachers and instructional staff that the grant portal for the 2014-2015 Working Together grants is available, and you can start working on that. The deadline will be September 30th. There's been a slight change in that we will now be required to do mid-year reports, but we can work on that as we go forward. August 6th, we'll do a new teacher orientation, and then we invite all of the employees and staff throughout the district to our Welcome Back celebration on August 15th, which will be held at the Endless Summer Winery. It's a free event for our employees. And we have some music, we have games, we have some entertainment. We will have a number of classroom adoptions as well as some backpacks and other school-related supplies. And thank you for tuning in to Foundation Focus.